In motorcycle road racing, rain is called the great equalizer. For certain racers, rain can be a good luck charm, bringing out the best in their abilities and perhaps giving their season a badly needed shot in the arm. Arian Honda's Aaron Gobert is just one of those racers. While teammate and points leader Josh Hayes was playing it safe, Aaron was hanging it out there, racing hard and making all the right moves, and in the process earning his first AMA Supersport victory. What started out as a season of Kawasaki Green is morphing into a season of Honda Red. And now that the series is at the halfway point, every win and point becomes more and more valuable with each race. So now is the time to get it on. The AMA Supersport Series from Miller Motorsports Park is next on Speed. It is a truly spectacular desert day here in Tooele, Utah, and Miller Motorsports Park for the 6th round of the AMA Supersport Championship. Pro Honda Oils, presented by Shoei. And Freddie, I don't think there's any question that this is arguably the most competitive of the 4 classes that we cover regularly. There have been, keep in mind, folks, 4 different winners in the 5 races. Hi, everybody. I'm Greg Kramer, joined by 3-time world champ Freddie Spencer. This has been a great battle.
Well, it is a great battle, and for Jamie Hacking, unfortunately, with his crash in Birmingham, that's going to hurt him in this championship. But he's been struggling Superbike, and as the defending champion, he certainly is disappointed, and would be disappointed, I should say, if he didn't win this championship, because he came over to Kawasaki, and that's one of the things that he wants to do. They've gotten this Superbike working better, but he's focused on this 600. Now, Roger Hayden, he's coming back from his injuries that he had riding the Superbike. He had 2 high sides early in the season, and for him, it's so important to go out and battle in this championship. And if we can remember those championship battles he had with his brother, Tommy Hayden, when they were teammates on the Kawasaki. Now, Josh Hayes, this championship for him is important, not only to him, but of course Honda with their brand new 2007 CBR 600 RR. So he wants to go out. He's won a couple of races this year, and he certainly would like to win one here at a Honda-sponsored track.
And let's take a look at the current top 5 in points coming into this 6th round. And it is Josh Hayes out front, and really by virtue of having one more win than the other winners here, and that's the margin of 11. It's just that close.
Yes, it is that close, and you can see that Roger Hayden is the top Kawasaki rider at this time, been very consistent, except again for that Jamie Hacking, that crash in Birmingham, he would be right up on top.
All right, and of course patrolling everything down trackside is Greg White. What's going on, G-Dub?
Well, I just want to give you a little update on the weather. A lot of times we talk about track temperature and we talk about ambient temperature. Here's a little device that Dunlop has given me, and you can see that when the wind blows, it goes down to about 88. It's about 90 degrees right now. Now, I take this probe and I put it in the track itself, and it's going to give me the track temperature. Let's take a look here. 120 degrees, 121, it keeps climbing. That's a lot of temperature on these tires. These 600s are going to spin them up late in the race. We're going to see who's got the tire and the setup to go the distance, Freddie.
Yeah, the track temperature has such an effect, and this morning in the morning warm-up, when the track temperature is a lot cooler, the riders can go a lot faster because the tire temperatures are a lot lower and they get more grip. But as the track temperature goes up, the tire gets a little hotter, it gets what they call a little bit greasy, and they lose side grip.
All right, and one of the things we want to do is bring you up to date a little bit as we take a look right there at David Sadowski Jr., bring you a little bit up to date on what's going on with David, as they call him, Ski Jr.
Hi, my name's David Sadowski Jr., riding Supersport on the number 321 Hooter Suzuki. I was born on the hood of a race truck. My dad racing professionally for 18 years or so, and just following his career, following in his footsteps. As soon as I was born, I was a racer. Now when I'm not racing, I'm either wakeboarding, snowboarding in the winter, riding motocross, trampoline, in the gym, that kind of stuff. Yeah, I'm the stunt double for John Heater. Just got done the movie Blades of Glory that came out not too long ago. Did all the stunts in that one for him. I started stunt doubling. I knew a friend we used to ride with and train with. He was working stunt coordinator on the movie, and they couldn't find a double for him. He never had a double before, and I had the hair, so that night I was in a lineup. Just for the rest of the year, all these tracks are brand new to me. I never never ridden any of the tracks, and just like to learn them and come out strong next year. When we're coming to a new track, you just want to come in open-minded as possible, and it's kind of touchy, but just go out there and try to get behind some fast guys like Steve Rapp or somebody like that, and just get in their toe and learn as much as you can while you're behind them.
In the dictionary, Freddie, next to the words adrenaline junkie, I'm thinking it's his picture.
Well, if you heard there, all the stunt work that he's been able to do as we're seeing his results. But as he said, as he gains experience and he learns the racetracks, then he can come out the second year and be a lot stronger. Of course, I've known his dad for years, and he won the Daytona 200 and was competitive in superbikes. And so I know he is very proud of his son.
All right, and obviously it'd be fun to watch him progress and learn and move up through the ranks. He's going to get another lesson right here at Miller Motorsports Park in just a sec. Sorry, my bad. Speed's coverage of AMA Supersport action from Salt Lake City, Utah is brought to you by Honda, the company that defines performance in motorcycles, ATVs, personal watercraft, and scooters. And by Progressive. Before the gremlins get you, get Progressive in #1 in motorcycle insurance. And speaking of Progressive, let's get down to Greg White for our Progressive Direct Trackside Report.
Monster Energy Kawasaki rider Jamie Hacking on pole. Jamie struggled here on Friday, then all of a sudden Saturday it seemed like you're right back on track in championship mode. What's going on? Tell us about it.
You know, we came up on a comfortable setting for me. We've just been kind of searching all season long, and we ran up on something Saturday morning, and I was 100% comfortable with the bike, and all weekend long we've just been running the paces and putting laps on some race tires. So today looks pretty good for us. We just get comfortable and hopefully pull this thing off.
Well, we've seen Jamie Hacking when he's comfortable. He's awfully dangerous on this racetrack. He can win it. He can win it by checking out. He can win it in a close race. Man, it's going to be exciting to watch Supersport here at Miller.
As it has been all season long so far. So let's take a look at the Pro Honda Oil Supersport Dunlop starting grid. Jamie Hacking on pole, his 4th pole of the season.
Yeah, and it's a good run for him. He said that he's certainly more comfortable with the bike now, so that should be a warning to the rest of the crowd. And then as we go through the grid here, you can see Aaron Gobert on the 3rd row. Now, Aaron, he ran very quick in the free practice this morning warm-up, and he talked about how that they changed an engine from yesterday. The bike feels a lot stronger, so he certainly feels he's going to get up there and be tough.
Well, he certainly has been very impressive of late. That confidence, as you've talked about early in the season, having the surgery on his hands, getting that fixed, you can just see that confidence bubbling.
Yes, you can. As we're looking back through the field here, and there's David Sadowski Jr., Tyler McDonald, who's on the row right in front of him in 8th position. He comes from a family of racers in McDonaldsville, and the whole group of them as we go through. Now let's take a look at the Kawasaki track map. This racetrack, very technical, high speed, 3 miles, and it's going to be 13 laps, 15 turns, a lot of drafting down the straightaway on these super sport machines, and as you come through, it's about carrying rhythm. This is the most technical part of the racetrack. As you run through here, the key is just trying to get in, get the bike to change direction, and then the drive out of the last corner down to the start-finish line.
All right, the start is coming up here at Miller Motorsports Park. It has been spectacular. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back for it. Yep. Cardenas and Hayes. Gotcha. You might want to enter the Dude for a Day 2000. Yeah. You might want to enter the Dude for a Day 2007 sweepstakes because you could win a new Honda CBR 600RR plus a VIP trip to the AMA Superbike US Grand Prix at Laguna Seca. The Dude for a Day 2007 sweepstakes. To enter and for official rules, go to speedtv.com, keyword Dude, and it's presented by Honda. You are riding on board with the number 361 of Martin Cardenas, driving for the roadracingworld.com team and giving us some great onboard shots. Sponsored by Progressive Direct. We appreciate that. And the other camera, a little bit different view. Very interesting look. Again, sponsored by Progressive Direct. It's Josh Hayes on the Arian Honda.
Yeah, that's off the back of the machine as he's going through the attitudes at this moment. Look at the elevation change that you see through turns 8, 9, and 10. They call it attitude, first attitude, second attitude, and then at the bottom, bad attitude.
I like that. And you talked about it falls away a little bit down there.
Does.
It's a tricky corner. It's a perfect name for it.
Yes, it does. And the riders there, is, again, just trying to carry momentum, hold that throttle in position, and just try to build speed as you come down. And it does. It goes away from you at the very bottom, which means it goes a little bit off camber the opposite way that you're going.
Now they're funneling in. It's basically the last 3 corners here. We've heard tracks refer to corners as S's, but these truly are. I mean, it is a big, that right, left, right, that leads onto the front straight. That last corner called release. I think that's another good name because it's got that banking to it. And it just seems you could build up energy, you know, that you can see the bikes really working in there, and then they just literally explode out of that turn, which you need down the straight.
Well, the banking helps you as far as it helps the bike change direction, and then as you lead on to the front straightaway, we've seen some crashes there this weekend where as the track flattens out, going from the banking to where it flattens out, it unloads the rear tire, and we've seen some high siding. Now let's go down to G-Dub for a last-minute report.
Well, I can tell you that last year this was a breakout race for number 46, Josh Aaron from the Graves Yamaha squad. This year, he's qualified in 16th position. We're going to have to see what he and number 60, Michael Beck, who qualified 17th, they both finished 3rd, 5th. Big breakout year for the young guns. Let's see what we have this year. It could be Blake Young, the 79 machine, who qualified in 6th on the Suzuki. A lot of talented, fast riders on the front row, and all the rows behind them. Everybody wants to finish on the podium here at Miller Motorsports Park because we're getting to that time of the season. It's almost silly season. Time to talk about next year's contracts. But right now, we're focused on Supersport racing at Miller. It's time to get it on right now.
What a view, and hacking from the inside, floated to the outside, but he got surprised down low. But he counter moves. On board with Hayes, looking back at Blake Young, that great start. Look at the action, side by side, Corey West. What a move, trying to get around.
What a great shot. You can see that this racetrack really favors side-to-side racing. You can do it safely. But what a move by Jamie Hacking. Lost the lead going down in turn 1, but gained it on the exit. Gained it, got it back.
Any surprise to you that the launch on that far left-hand side of the track, which they don't run on much, and you think it'd be a little dusty and dirty, getting off the line pretty well there?
Well, it's actually pretty, it's not as dirty as you might think, and he gets to the outside pretty quickly. We got it in, yeah, in 2nd position.
What a launch by Martin Cardenas, the Colombian driver who was the 04 Spanish Superbike champ. And he just exploded off the line and qualified 10th. Working down into the long sequence of corners here. Hacking leads, but Cardenas again from 10th. He also now with the great team that he runs with. It's the M4M Go Suzuki team, and I'll tell you what, if you want to do well in AMA Pro Racing, that's a team you want to race for. It's amazing the names that have come through that program. Spees, Hacking, Hayes, I believe, as well. And Cardenas just another list to add to that tremendous list. And you know, they may not be a full factory number, but they're as good as it gets. And boy, he is just showing what this team is capable of. What a run!
Well, they've been doing it for a long time. The John Ower Motorsports team has certainly been up there for over 20 years. So they have a lot of experience. They've helped a lot of riders over the years to make transitions up to the top ranks, and so he's been a big supporter of road racing and done a great job. As we watch here through the fast kink in the back part of the racetrack, turn 4, you can see Roger Hayden now looking up inside of Cardenas. He doesn't want to let his teammate get away, if at all possible. Roger's going to have a pretty good line going into the next right-hander. Cardenas was looking up the inside. If it had been a left-hander, it would have been okay, but because it was a right-hander, Roger had the position.
And this is Cardenas, only his second race with this team as well, I believe, Greg.
Yeah, doing a great job. And when I talked to him this morning about his motorcycle setup, he said that he couldn't get the motorcycle to turn in initially, so they worked on it this morning. And he said, if I get a good start and I'm up and able to get in a podium position, you know it worked out really well. So far, so good. That M4MGO Suzuki team, like Freddie said, 27 years in the business so far, and they have a good knowledge base, and they're using that to get Martin Cardenas' motorcycle closer to what he needs to be successful, and he's doing a great job right now.
As we look here at the front 3 riders, Cardenas has a lot of experience, you know, coming over from GP racing, and it just shows the strength of AMA racing and the respect that it has gained over certainly the last years as a place to come over and race. So it's great to see him in this series.
Well, his teammate in those GP years was Chaz Davies, I believe, who also is now obviously running stateside and doing very, very well indeed. By the way, points leader Josh Hayes sits in 4th, just about a second behind Cardenas, but covered by the likes of May, Young, Herron, really working him over as we hop on board with Josh, and there you can see that's how close it is from 4th to 5th right now. May hounding him at this point.
Look at the lean angle they're able to run here. One of the things the riders talked about is how much grip this racetrack has. And they can run such tremendous lean angle. And it's so high speed through that first park. As Jeff May looking up inside and making the pass on Josh Hayes. Going down in turn 5, and Josh squaring it back up. Is he going to be able to get by him? We talked about that earlier with Cardenas on the pass with Roger Hayden. When Roger went by him, he lost that position, and Jeff May was able to make the pass stick.
Just an absolute duplicate of that scenario, and Jeff May is through. Puts him up into 4th. Hayes running in 5th. Up front, hacking Hayden, Cardenas. Is the passion for 2 wheels in your blood? Well, now you can get all the breaking news, in-depth analysis, and more with the Motorcycle Racing Report only at SpeedTV.com. Keyword green, presented by Kawasaki. Welcome back, everybody. You're enjoying the great view from the back of that red number 4 Arian Honda of Josh Hayes, currently running in the 5th spot. Right before we went to break, Jeff May able to sneak by him, and right behind Hayes now is the number 79. As you see that yellow hooded bike, well, as he's getting Josh Herron taking a run at him. Side by side they go. Looks like Herron is going to be able to sneak through and gets the pass done. Nice job by Herron. I was going to say with Blake, in the super stock race that happened before this, he was very, very competitive and had an off. Not a huge crash, but nonetheless a crash. He had to get his head right back in this game in a hurry.
Absolutely, and he was able to do that. But Josh Herron, another one of the young guns in this class, and that's what's so great about this class, is it gives a lot of young riders the opportunity to get some exposure, and Josh Herron has done a good job. Last year, he had a pretty good couple of good finishes, and then this year he's getting a great opportunity again with the Graves Yamaha team to show what he can do on the Yamaha.
He was 3rd in this very race last year, but qualified 16th, and that pass puts him into 6th. So he's picked up 10 spots already, and there's still a lot of racing to go.
As we look here, he certainly has the opportunity to show what he can do to go around the points leader, Josh Hayes, on the Arian Honda, the Parts Unlimited Arian Honda. I know Josh is certainly a little bit disappointed to be this far back from the lead group. as we look back, this is one of the corners, Twilla curve it's called, or turn 11, where the track again goes away from you, and at the apex of the corner, the bikes actually have a little trouble, the riders have a little trouble seeing that outside edge.
It's a slightly increasing radius corner too, is it? So, I mean, a lot of times you turn in and you realize at the exit, it could have been a little bit quicker
to carry more speed.
But as you said, with it falling away, if you get it wrong, then it gets real ugly. By the way, that second yellow bike right there, we really need to give a shout to another guy who's put together a great early race here. Is Chris Paris, the top line printing Yamaha.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. Good young rider. He's actually had some races in. Oh, as he's looking up inside, that was certainly close. And then behind him is Aaron Gobert. Aaron, definitely Aaron expected to have a good result in the race today. He ran pretty quick in practice this morning. Didn't get the start that he wanted, certainly coming from the third row. We'll have to see what he can do with Blake Young and Chris Paris. But Chris, a really good young rider. I've watched him progress over the years, and it's good to see he's raced some races in the Supersport Championship in Europe.
Coming down from Calgary, Alberta. Great to have him with us.
Yep.
And the issue, too, right now for Gobert a little bit is even if he is a little bit quicker than these guys, and that's not necessarily the case, but if he is, they're in a battle. And if they're going to go side by side, I mean, there's limited space to be able to make that move. Try and get around somebody. Oh, look at this. Bend it in late. Boy, a little skip on the rear tire and tucked back in behind.
Yeah, it's pretty bumpy to that section of the racetrack. You get the ripple bumps from the cars that run around, and the brakes, and also the amount of grip and wide tires that they use on the race cars. They're going to be repaving this racetrack at the end of September, and certainly going to fix those. A lot of issues they felt as far as the way that the asphalt compressed. It gave it a lot of grip, but it also caused a lot of inconsistency as far as smoothness and the quality of the facility here at Miller Motorsports Park. Larry Miller and Alan Wilson, who's the designer of this facility, they want it to be as perfect as possible.
I was going to say, that says an awful lot about their commitment, because it didn't open until May of last year for racing, and it's, what, 14 months on, and they're already saying, nope, we got to repave it. It's not how we want it. Exactly. Look at this battle right here. Young Paris, Gobert. Paris now taking a left to the inside. And this time he is through. Freddie makes the move. And Gobert trying to swing the outside, trying to set up for the next right-hander. Not quite able to get it done. That's some great racing for 7th.
What a great battle. Now this battle for second position with Cardenas, Hayden, and Jeff May.
May just ran these guys down. They'd opened up a little bit of a margin. Now May looks to the inside. Cardenas, the outside move.
What a great move on the outside to go around Roger Hayden. That certainly was a gutsy move, but he felt that he was a lot better on the brakes, and he made that pass look pretty easy. That takes commitment. Absolutely.
And other things. It almost kind of looks like Hayden may have been protecting the inside a little bit, and Cardenas went, well, that's my only shot here.
He didn't expect that on the outside.
So Cardenas picks up second spot. Hayden third, but under attack from a very quick and aggressive Jeff May. Here's the rest of the top 5, occupied by Josh Hayes. Have you missed any AMA racing action, but you'd like to relive the excitement? No problem. Watch all the 2007 AMA Supercross and Superbike events on Speed, on demand, online. And it's all free, courtesy of Yamaha. So log on now to speedtv.com, the keyword Yamaha, and get up to speed. On board with Josh Hayes. Looking back, and here are the biggest movers so far, and no surprise, Herron tops that list, but Cardenas impressive as well.
Yeah, you can see the top 2, 10 and 8 spots. They've moved up. That's certainly impressive, but I tell you what, the most impressive thing I've seen a pass on last year and this year was that pass going into turn 5 that Cardenas made on Roger Hayden on the outside. Now Roger is under tremendous pressure from Jeff May. Looked like it was probably going to be a 1-2 Kawasaki finish, but the two Suzukis, Cardenas and Jeff May, the M4 MGO Suzuki, certainly they want to challenge that.
This is sort of a repeat for Hacking out front, as he had pole and a win here last year. and he owned this track last year. He won in one of the other classes as well. So obviously he just really, really likes this track and is checking out a little bit. About 3 seconds clear of this battle, or actually of Cardenas. And then here's this great battle for third between the green 95, the Cowie of Hayden, as May again sticks the front tire of that Suzuki to the inside and decides the better of that. Any surprise to you that Josh Hayes hasn't really been able to, he's the points leader and he's got more, 2 wins, and he just hasn't been able to find it and join this group yet?
Well, just the pace that they're running, he hasn't been able to close it down that much. It looks like maybe just a little bit. For him, the best thing that can happen is for Jeff May, Cardenas, and Roger Hayden to battle amongst themselves, and it kind of slow the pace down. It also works in Jamie Hacking's favor, because Jamie has pulled out a little over 3-second lead on this group of riders. So we'll have to see over the next lap or two, maybe 3 or 4 laps, if Josh can close that gap down. Looks like he has a little bit. Looks like he's pretty much cut it in half.
Well, as May has been sort of cutting and thrusting, trying to figure out a way by Hayden, and Hayden's been protecting a little bit. If that's slowing them up as we get the halfway signal from the flagman, that's an opportunity, isn't it? Because if the guys in front are slowing up a little bit, you can run them down.
Well, in fact, Cardenas ran a 55.0, Jamie Hacking 54.8, and then Hayden, May, and Hayes pretty much around that same thing. But Josh Hayes ran about a half a second quicker than Cardenas on that lap.
Which was his fastest lap, personal lap of the race. So maybe he was just laying back a little bit. Maybe something wasn't quite right, and it's come back to him. Now, I understand this is the long class that runs an actual DOT-approved tire. Was he just waiting for something, maybe, in terms of the tire to come in a little bit?
I doubt if that. Sometimes a tire will perform better after 6, 7, 8 laps, and I've heard some of the guys talk about that, especially on the Superbike here, where the tire kind of comes in. As Jeff May looking up inside of Roger Hayden. A lot of these corners, there's kind of a convergence of lines. A rider will move out mid-corner, and then somebody runs the low line, and if you don't get by them, they don't see you. They can come down right on top of you. For the viewer out there, he's not intentionally trying to shut the door. It's just that's the line that he's on this racetrack and through that particular corner. You want to protect that line, so you might sense somebody is there, but you're not. Raj was just kind of running his normal line. As Josh Hayes, who was right on the back wheel of Jeff May now, as we talked about closing down that gap, he's done it.
He's done it, and behind them, I just saw Gobert has gone around Paris and is actually all over Heron. So we've got some great battles in a couple of different spots on the track here. This one, pretty spectacular. Hayes coming after May, and now, May was able to just really concentrate on trying to figure out a way by Hayden. Now he's got to be a little bit cognizant of what's going on behind him.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, he's certainly going to have to. He's going to try to find a way to get around Roger, but he's got to also protect his position to Josh Hayes.
It almost looks to me like maybe the pace of this battle for third has carried them back to Cardenas. He'd opened up a little margin, but that's evaporating as well.
Again, Josh Hayes ran a 1 minute 54 lap time, about 0.3 off of his quickest, and the riders in front of him all in the low 55. So it's not that they have slowed down that much. It's just Josh has picked up his pace.
Here comes May. I think he's got him this time. No, the outside line, better entry speed. Hayden able to sweep through. Now Hayes trying to get down underneath May, but once again, Freddie, that right-hander following gives May that inside line. And things just stay put, but a little bobble, and here comes Hayes. Couldn't quite get it done.
Yeah, it was a little bit of a bobble, but it also looked like it checked up Josh Hayes just a little bit, enough to where he couldn't take advantage of it.
All right, so there's that battle again behind them. Gobert working over Heron, but Hacking 3.5 seconds clear up front here at Miller Motorsports Park. We'll be right back. Speed's coverage of the AMA Supersport Series from Salt Lake City is brought to you by Yamaha. Nobody's more in tune with motorsports than Yamaha. We have ourselves a couple of wars on hand. This one for second. There's the blue Suzuki of Cardenas. Then the Kawasaki of Hayden, the Suzuki of May, the Honda of Hayes. It's just that close. And then right behind them is that battle with Hayden and Gobert for the 6th spot. Somebody go off her. Yes, we had somebody off. Saw some dust in the air.
It's one of the guys that they were coming up on.
It was Gary Carter's bike. Garrett Carter, excuse me, is the one that apparently went off. Meanwhile, back to what's unfolding here. That battle is just intense, and you can see Gobert has closed right back up at Hayden. Hayden taking a look at Cardenas. Ooh, May floats out pretty wide, but again, that inside line will pay off.
Yeah, you could see that Josh would really have to get pretty far around Jeff May to be able to hold that position going in that right-hander. Just kind of showing a wheel there. But Roger looked like he's getting a little bit impatient, staying right behind Cardenas. He's going to try to, if he can, to try to make a pass and get back in 2nd position. But what a great battle for the podium between 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th positions.
I think 6th and 7th might join them shortly. They were a couple seconds back not too long ago, and now they are less than a second back in this battle. Hayden and Gobert, very close indeed. There they are. They are much closer than they have been.
And I'll tell you what, if these two guys get up here, Josh Hayden and Aaron Gobert, I was talking earlier about how they changed his motor for this race. He was really confident coming into the 600 Supersport race. And so for him, he's certainly a little bit disappointed in his confidence level, you know, with his results in the last couple of races in the Formula Extreme class and winning that race here has certainly been good for him.
Yeah, he's been the man with the mole lately. There's no question of that. Superb. Look at this big move by May, trying to duck down underneath. And meanwhile, Hayden underneath Cardenas, a new 2nd place. Hayden has taken it back. He did hold it a little bit earlier, but he's through. Cardenas now 3rd, then May, then Hayes.
Well, we talked about Roger and getting a little bit impatient. Needing one to get back up in 2nd position. We got about 2.5 laps to go, fixing to be kind of showtime, money time, and look at that, 3 abreast as they're coming down into turn 5 on the brakes, and Cardenas makes the pass.
This is racing at its best.
That's what is so great about Supersport racing, is they just ride the wheels off these bikes and can ride so hard. And you know, tire management, we talk about that especially with the bigger bikes as far as maintaining and trying to get the performance to last over the whole length of the race. And they don't have to worry about that as much in the 600 bikes, so they just ride them 100% the whole time.
Yep, punch, counter punch, pass, repass. Awesome stuff. And indeed, Hayden and Gobert. And Gobert got around Hayden. No, sorry, that was Hayes. So it's Hayes, then Hayden, then Gobert. And boy, did Hayden get a run. He may be underneath Hayes. He did, he got him. So Josh Hayden showing his form from last year. Hayes has dropped back a spot. And as a matter of fact, Gobert's gone through as well. Wonder if something's gone off for Hayes. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't sound good.
Points leader, folks. This is huge, Freddie.
Yes, it is. He's not running on 4 cylinders, you can tell. You can just listen to the bike, and that's certainly a disappointment for him, but it narrows down the group that's battling for that 2nd position. Cardenas doing a great job. Then you got Hayden and Gobert trying to run this group down to get in that battle for the podium.
And Hayden underneath Cardenas again. This is exactly what happened last lap. He was able to get through, and then Cardenas was able to get him into the hairpin. So we'll watch for that through turn 2. And then 2 very quick left-handers. Sort of a double apex, really slow here, and then just sort of feed it up through this next one right here, don't you?
Yeah, you're flat out through the kink here in turn 4. Now we'll have to see on the brakes as they come down into turn 5. Cardenas making that pass look pretty easy and still able to hold that tight line. Doing a great job through this section of the racetrack.
May trying everything he can think of to get underneath Hayden. It just goes in deep, deep, deep and makes it work.
Well, that worked out perfect for Cardenas, his teammate. Now Jeff May in the last podium position as Raj looks up the inside. What a perfect position for the teammates. Second and third spot. Even though they're teammates, you know Jeff May's going to be wanting to get in that second position.
I would think. And of course, Cardenas out to prove that he definitely belongs, and has he thus far. So yeah, this should not be anything other than what we've seen this whole race. Just intense. Hayden, that's about as big a gap we've seen between one of these three bikes for a while, is that gap between May and Hayden right now, third and fourth.
Now let's watch and see coming down this front straightaway if Jeff May can get in the draft of Cardenas, but Raj is a little too far behind. That's where he's been able to make the repass on Cardenas going down in turn one, but not close enough. Jeff May looking up the inside as they go down in turn one. Cardenas,
I wonder now if he's not all that concerned because of what he's, oh, there's a little bobble by May. Not going to be enough to let Cardenas through, but Cardenas is so good into that hairpin. That may be his ace right now. By the way, Hacking, 5.5 clear for Hacking. Oh, very close.
Now that could help Jeff May in talking about that repass that Cardenas has been so strong going down in turn 5, trying to get by in turn 3. Now he's not close enough to try to make the pass on the brakes. He's been so good going down in turn 5, but it didn't help him this time because of the gap.
Yeah, I really thought he might be a little bit more patient, just wait for the hairpin, and maybe this little impatience got the better of him. Meanwhile, look at Gobert closing on the 95 of Hayden. He has reeled him in. May second, Cardenas third, the two blue Suzukis. Cardenas very quick through here.
The cardinal rule is this, you can battle for position as teammates, but you can't take each other out.
Do not do that. Gobert, by the way, has gone by Hayden here on this last lap. So Gobert just getting faster and faster as this race is unfolding.
Well, that's certainly helping Jamie Hacking, not only in this race, but in the points for the championship. The problems that Josh Hayes has had, and now his teammate Roger Hayden. Well, what a great battle we have here between the two teammates for second and third.
Last time out of release, the final corner, and look at the celebration by Jamie Hacking. Awesome ride, and here's the battle, and it's May and Cardenas. You saw Cardenas bob his head. I think he realized, I had second. But still, what a day for the M4 MGO Suzuki squad. Second and third, just an awesome run, and then Gobert brings it home fourth, and Roger Lee Hayden, great race. But I'm sure he won't be thrilled with fifth.
And like I said, the difficulty for him and what is so costly is in the championship and the points that he lost in the last 4 or 5 laps.
And for Jamie Hacking, the love story with Miller Motorsports Park in the Utah Desert continues. We'll be back.
think we're going to be on camera at this point.
We can kill the lights.
Yeah.
We're just wrapping this show.
Yeah. I can hear.
Yep.
I don't know what time it is.
Okay.
Right. Try to do them like just line them up and interview them. I can do that. Good ride, Jamie. Good one. Hey, I'm going to try to line all three of you up, all right? Because you got to go race Superbike. I'm going to try to line all three of you guys up. Just bang, 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 all right? Okay, I need you. I need Martin. Martin! Martin! Martin. Okay. Martin! Jamie. Hey, Jeff. We're ready. I know, that's why I'm trying to get you done.
And welcome back to Miller Motorsports Park, where a Supersport race extraordinaire has just unfolded. Absolutely fabulous racing. And let's get down to Greg White.
Down here in Victory Circle with the winner, Jamie Hacking, who's got a Superbike race to get to. But Jamie, we didn't see a whole lot of you. Tell us about the race.
Well, you know, first thing, I owe everything to my team. Neil, my crew chief, Chris, Perry, Theo, Roscoe, and Cody. You know, we turned around this weekend and jumped on a setup that I'm familiar with and I'm comfortable with, and you know, hopefully we can roll on now to Laguna with this win and maxed out all the points this weekend, and then go there and do the same thing also again, and somehow regain this championship back.
All right, congratulations, Jamie Hacking, your winner here in Supersport. And how about second place? We have Jeff May right here, M4M Go Suzuki. Congratulations. What a battle you had with your teammate. Tell us about your race.
Oh man, I was biding my time there for a little bit, and I saw Hacking getting away, and I wanted to try to get up there with him. We had a really good setup, and you know, we just couldn't quite get there. Raj was riding awesome, and Martin, man, I can't believe it, man. Those guys are riding so hard, and I just got to thank my crew, whole team M4M Go Suzuki, and Michael Tijon for building such a fast Suzuki 600, man. And we had a little bad luck earlier in the Superstock race, and it was payback.
All right, Jeff May finishing second here, and teammate Martin Cardenas, who finished third here. Martin, you had a great race going on. You passed for second. You were battling it up with Roger Hayden early on, and then your teammate came by. What were you thinking?
Yeah, I made a great start. I started from the third row, but by the first corner I was first position. Then Jamie Hacking passed me. He started pulling away a little bit, but then Roger came by. I had a battle with him, good battle, and at the end, unfortunately, Jeff came very strong, and he passed me on the last lap, and I tried to pass him again, but it was not possible this time. But great race.
Congratulations, Martin Cardenas finishing third here in the M4M Go Suzuki. A great result for that team, going 2-3.
Oh, without a doubt, and I think, I mean, Martin alluded to it. I don't think Jamie Hacking was going to be denied today, but what a great battle that unfolded behind him, ready for a lot of places.
Well, and what Jamie said as far as they found a good setup for him and his bike, and we've talked about it numerous times how important that is, and I think he's certainly going to be tough. Disappointing day for Josh Hayes, of course, have fallen back there, and also Raj losing those positions, so it's certainly going to affect the championship. But what a great battle we had for the M4M Go Suzuki team's second and third position. A great ride for those guys.
And we have to, I just think one more time, say a word about the charge by Josh Herron from that 16 starting spot to be that much in the fray. An absolutely awesome race by Josh. There's the rest of the field, and you can see 44. is David Anthony. So that wraps up the action here. We're going to step away for just a minute, take a look at some of the beautiful mountains here in the Tooele County area. We'll be right back. Well, welcome back, everybody, to Miller Motorsports Park, and just a fabulous race. And Freddie, I think it's no question, Jamie Hacking loves this place. You combine what he did in this class last year, and he does it again here. Just an absolutely incredible run. But the story is Josh Hayes, and where he finished has a major effect on the points.
Well, it does, and it worked out perfectly for Jamie Hacking because two of his main rivals, his teammate Roger Hayden, he got passed right at the very end, and then Josh Hayes had the problem that cost him, some points there toward the end of the race.
So it hurt him just a little bit, and of course Hacking is going to move up just a little bit in terms of the points, and that's a good thing. And what it means is that this championship is simply going to get closer and closer still, and it's one of the hottest ones going.
Well, in fact, and he's 11 points out of the lead now that Josh Hayes has. That is Jamie Hacking is 11 points down. So it certainly it was a good day for him. I think it was a very good day for his confidence, and one of the key things he said is that they got the bike working better for him. He has a better feel that they found Saturday morning, and so it should be good for him, and we'll have to wait and see how it's going to pay off the rest of the year.
And of course, we talk about how hot the championship is. It has been absolutely hot here throughout as well. And fortunately, we have a guy named Ben Bostrom. The B-Boz Report talks a little bit about how you deal with the heat here.
Okay, here we are at Miller. It's incredibly hot. Desert heat though, very dry. How are you guys hacking it?
Just staying hydrated, drinking lots of water, staying in the shade, hanging out, having fun.
Do I know how hot it is? 58. Unbelievable. That's the hottest we've had all year though. Definitely the hottest. It's actually nice in here. We're taking that breeze through.
Yeah, a little shade, a little breeze.
Yeah, there's some people standing out the wall. Oh my God!
Banana! It's coming banana! I think there's monkeys around here. Whoa!
All right, let's see who the real athletes are. How do you guys deal with this heat? It's got to be at least
73 in here, maybe?
I don't think it's that hot, actually. Maybe 68.
Yeah, I think so. We just do the best we can, all for the love of the sport.
What do you guys think? You think they're suffering? Dude, the man, he looks good. You should see me when I get off the bike. Black helmet and all, yeah. Look at that. Now you just drop your pants and pull everything up and nice boom.
Yeah.
That's cool.
What we're working with,
Ours is much larger.
Yeah. What is bigger mean better?
Hey everyone, thanks for watching the show. There's other fine points at Miller we didn't get to show you. They have an amazing go-kart track. They have Ford School here with some fantastic cars. Beautiful supermoto track in the background. And of course our awesome race facility, which we'll be racing on this weekend in the blazing heat. So thanks again, we'll see you next week.
Well, thank you very much, B-Boz and Freddie. I suppose I should ask you, from competitor out on the track to media mogul right now in the media center, how do you deal with it?
Well, I like the fact that it's cooler in the media center.
Who wouldn't?
Before when I was racing, you'd maybe be jealous of that, but now that I'm up here, I'm happy that it's cooler up here.
You've earned it.
Yeah, well, maybe so.
Maybe that's the way I'd look at it. And by the way, you saw him talking about those cars, a fabulous museum here at Miller Motorsports Park. If you ever visit, make sure you check it out. We'll be back.